Alrighty, this is what we're doing today. We have an air station, and it's called an air station and a water station from 1932. I don't know. This is what the top of it says. It says free air and water. That round piece that we walk by up there goes on top of this piece. It has a top on it, a big bell for the top, and a wheel that there's a water hose that must run up through there, an air hose that runs through there, and a pulley. There's a pulley comes down through there, and you get free air and water, and that's what this thing is. It's from 1932. It's hard to believe that an air station or a water, free air and water would look like this. It must be the water there, actually. You plumb it up for water. The air will be at the top because it has the pulley at the top. There's a pulley up there, and then the bell goes there. This would tell you what it is. These are the colors that we're doing it in. We're going to paint the body of it yellow. And from there on, I know the bottom's black, but we'll make sure that we paint all the pieces the right color. Yeah, I've got the fender there. I'm going to finish. What I'm going to do is, it's kind of drizzly out right now. I'm going to start a sandblaster up probably within the next couple days, and then I can hit all this stuff and clean it up before we go anywheres. And the reason being is that it'd be much easier just to start that up and blast that out than try to strip that and make that look like something. I'm not going to leave it like that. I want to throw the blaster in there and see what to clean it up the best it can. And I may as well clean up the rest of the pieces. They look pretty good, but let's face it, I might as well clean it if I'm going to clean them. And at the same time, I'll do the fender on the inside, and I'll sand the outside. That's just a shell of rust there, but that's fine. We'll get that finished and give it back to them. As you can see, I've put the frame table down. That's always been up against the wall there for a while. And what I learned was, as we did, season 1 and season 2, building cars, dream cars, you must, not say must, it's a nice thing to have a table like this for when we were building cars that were so torn apart, to keep them straight. And that's all it's for, is to tie it down. Like we can weld to this, and it tied the cars down so they did not get out of shape. You sort of need that if you're going to go as far as that we did on some of the cars. But I've got it drug out right now because we're going to build a car pretty soon for all the people that enjoy watching. That's who we're going to build a car for. I'm hoping that we can build a car that you think is worth $1 million. That's what I hope. That's what I want to do. I want to build a car that you think is worth $1 million. I keep thinking about the 40 out there, and I've got a 3640. Yes, them are beautiful, beautiful cars. But the more and more I think about it, like Jolene's car has caused quite a stir in the car. In the car world, there's only so many of them made. Ours is a little different than all of them. We have not made it the same. It's a Hiltz Autoco car, to be honest with you. It's built here. We had no measurements from anybody else. We got to look, but we did not take any measurements. We did not do anything that they did the same. We did not. And as the same thing is going to go with the car that I'm going to build on this table here, I want to build a car that, like I said, and we'll see what happens, what style of car I'm going to build. But I hope that this is what I hope. I hope the art of the car will do the work for me and Jolene and the YouTube station, because it'll bring them to the station because of the car that we're going to give away. And that's basically what I want to do. I want the car to speak for itself. And that way there, when we build it, people say, you see this car's giving away in this thing? You see this car they're going to give away? You see this? And that right there will do it for us. All we have to do is put our work clothes on and build it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it right on that frame table there. We are going to build a car that you can't buy. You can't buy. And yeah, you can only dream to have. So that's what we're going to do. But anyways, as we're going here, this is the top piece to the air station. This has to be welded up. We want to weld it all the way up and then grind it off. We're going to fill that seam top to bottom. We're going to fill it, so we'll put filler on it after we're done. We'll grind it. You can see on the air station in there that is welded all the way up. So we'll do the exact same thing there. We'll grind it, we'll fill it. Right now, we're having an issue, not an issue, but there's an issue with the collars that fit. There's an issue. This one here, I think, probably could be fine. There's a collar in there that has to be dealt with because when you shove it on, it's going to tear the paint off. So we're going to have to come up with something to make it go together a little better. And it has some crimps around the edges that probably he does not like or whatever. But right now, I'm going to get Jolene to weld this up, and she's going to weld it up. It should be fine to weld up because of all the heat. We'll just go from maybe here halfway up, and then we'll turn it over maybe, or I don't think it'd warp at all if we do it one spot at a time like we always do. And I'm going to give me the camera, and you'll take over, will you not? Mm-hmm. Okay. We have company today coming too, so we're gonna get her plugged in, get her wired up. Right around the corner is probably your best bet, sweetheart. We're gonna turn the gas on. I should come over with her. I'm supposed to turn the gas on. I'll turn the gas on. So the gas is turned on. This is how much gas we have in the tank. This is the pressure that's coming out the end of the nozzle. And I think we're saying 15. When she takes and pulls the trigger, you'll know exactly how much. Just pull the trigger on that. Go ahead. Yeah, that's fine. So she's got 15 pounds of gas there, and that one there just tells you how much is in the tank. She's got 15 pounds on the pressure at the end of the nozzle, and that's generally pretty good. 10 or 15. They say you probably should run 20, but I'm that guy that wants to, you can put it on the top or the bottom, wherever you like, as long as it's grounded. Do you want a seat, or are you going to sit down on the thing and weld it, or how do you feel like you're going to weld it? Do you want your coat on so you don't get burnt? You're going to stand up and weld it.
Probably stand up.
Good, yeah.
I'm going to put my hair back.
You're going to put your hair back?
Yeah.
Not playing soccer today.
So
So do you have a...
I'm going to do it without the jacket.
You should be able to weld it up without the air too. The heat's should be running up. So you just start at the bottom of it and go every 6 inches. Doesn't matter. Just go in between another one. Yeah, whatever, and just go up like that and continue, come back down and do the exact same thing again. And we'll just keep doing it until it's welded up. Basically, that's about it. We're on the welder. We're on C, and it's on about 6 1/4. C is how hot it is, and 6 is the wire speed. So if you're hot, you need wire because you're burning. This is 18 gauge, and that's generally what I weld with is C, and that's 6 1/2. So here we go. Got gas? No problem.
Yep.
Good enough. That was a good call, putting your hand there to help you. Yeah. Put a nice little puddle there so you don't have, figure out the length of time that it sounds the best, you know what I mean? And the distance away and all that stuff. I'm going to move over here a little bit. I'm blind myself. If I stay behind the camera, I should be fine, should I not? Well done. That was good. Back to the bottom. Split the difference. Yep, split the difference. It's not cold there, or not hot there. Now, when this is all welded up, this piece of pipe, we'll have to grind it off. We'll do it with a hard disc first, and then we'll go to a slapper wheel to polish it off. Once we polish it off, we will have to sand the metal. So what we'll have to do is we'll get a DA or a hand sand it. We'll sand the whole piece of pipe until it's all sanded. It's got to be sanded just as well as we sanded Doug's car. It's got to be sanded down so it adheres the primer. Also, we're going to have to grind it around where the weld is so the filler sticks. But we will make sure that we sand it all very good and then probably put 3 coats of primer on. Then we'll do the 220, 400 thing and paint this bad boy. John owns Cruella DeVille. It's a car I built a long time ago. And he has employed me for a few years there going on, you know, and I muchly appreciate it because he gave me the chance to actually build a custom car. And that takes, you know, a special kind of person to, you know, give you that opportunity. And he gave it to me. He also has donated parts to Jolene for her car. She's going to have disc brakes on the front with 4 piston calipers and all the lines to go with, which is, you know, a plus for her. She did not have to buy them. All she had to do was weld up this tank. And she's doing a fabulous job. Let's go and take a look now what she got going on there. So that's what we're doing. We're spotting it one spot at a time. And that's exactly how you spot and weld onto a car. Let's face it, when you weld on a car, you do not want to warp it. So you act like a knitter, and you knit one knit at a time, and that's what we're going to do right to the end of this pipe.
Should I get the air yet?
No, go for it. I think that we're okay without the air. I really do. I think that you should continue on. Don't knock it over. Why?
Or just keep...
Continue on. Just split them. Just go just split them in. Split them. Do every 6 inches. You're not ready for 4s yet. Each one of them need to be split again, right? But do it every 6 inches, and then we'll go back and do it again, and then go forward. Okay? Okay. I don't want her to slow down, boys. And basically, that's what this takes. It's just taking your time, getting a few projects and getting comfortable, and you can weld up anything and do just as good a job as anybody else. And let's face it, the grinder does make the welder sometimes. And I have nothing wrong with it because I grind every bit of my weld. I grind every weld that we have here. I grind it. But that's the way it is. I grind it. There's no welds that we're laying down that we are painting. So I have to admit, the grinder is what we use. She's just going between each spot to make it closer. And once she gets it close enough, then she'll start doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then moving on. It's just a little rule that we have in the shop to try to bring down the chance of warping. We want to be that shop, but we don't need to warp things up to fix anything. Let me take a look there. Oh yeah, let me take a look for a second. Coming in, you can see how she's got them all spotted there at the bottom, and she got a couple gaps in them. She's just going in between there and filling them gaps up, and then we can do 1, 2, 3, 4s and do that up. Oh, it's nice, baby. Good job. Thank you, she said. Thank you. Cycle. burning and tearing ass. And doing it this way will keep the, you know, the heat's not on full time. It's almost like she's pumping the brakes. Every time she hits it, she gets it hot, but she's just hitting it and just backing off. And it's not getting that hot. You can take off your glove and check it out and see how hot you have it. That way there's you'll know. Hot at all?
Just warm.
Just warm? Yeah, not bad then, is it? Huh? It really has to be some freaking hot to start warping something. That's 18 gauge, so we should be fine. She's gonna go in between there. I think what you should do is you go to the bottom and find the spots that haven't got, you know, a little weld in between them. Hit those ones and then do 4s. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty, go for it. I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like before she starts doing 4s. Come on, baby.
Yep.
This is a 1932 air station. It's going White Rose. And it's an air station I've never seen before. It's quite something. Got a couple more places?
Yeah.
Got a couple more places that she wants to tidy up, tighten up. That's just to make it even. So now when it comes time to build the $1 million car, the $1 million giveaway car, Jolene can weld it up while I'm fabricating, you know what I mean? As I set things in place, Jolene will be able to come along and put her skills to work. That'd be great. Tidied up. All right, we're gonna call it tidied up, so I'm gonna go over here and take a look for a minute. There's what it looks like. All spotted up, that's what we like. If we were spotting a panel on, a quarter panel, or anything like that, that's exactly how we do it, just like that. Then we'll go back in and we'll do 4s. What are you doing, baby? I don't want the air on this. I just don't want to listen to it. I think you're fine. I think what you should do is just spread them every 6 inches, do 4, and then go up a good 6 inches, and then go from there, and just keep splitting the difference. So now what we're gonna do, you should take the glove off, just check for heat, see what it feels like. All the way down, check and see.
Getting hot.
You can put your hand on it, must not be that hot. Not bad?
Not bad.
Not bad, she says, not bad. Would you eat your sandwich that hot, or would you want to put it back in the microwave?
I need it that hot.
You what?
I need it that hot.
You'd eat it that hot? Okay.
Pretty warm.
Okay, well, you can give it a second if you like. We're just gonna give it a second, let it cool off. Just gonna give it a second. There's no sense rushing anything. That's what we don't wanna do. Rush something and warp something. I don't know if that would really warp or not, going up that straight pipe like that. I see the other one over in the corner. That was welded right to the top. That didn't warp. Go for it, let's weld her up. What we do right here, right now is we pick a weld, and then we weld 4. That's 4 dots. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we usually stop welding. This is what I found, after when you're welding on something, if you go any beyond 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, I've had it warp on me before. I've never had it warp, only thrown 4 spots on it. So that's basically what I have taught myself, is to not go any more than 4 spots. Before you move. So just a second now. She has done 4 spots on the bottom. You can see 4 right on the bottom, it's tight there. She got a line, yep, and 4 right there. Now she's gonna go up 6 inches and do 4 more and tie 2 of them welds together. In just a second now. As we do that, the wire, every time the wire goes back on, puts a plop of weld on it, it goes right on the edge of the other weld. Like, yeah, right, exactly, right on the edge of that one, so you can overlap on that halfway. When the next one comes, you do the exact same thing, and then the exact same thing. Go ahead, baby. trying to overlap the welds and actually make it look like a quarter overlapping another quarter. And we'll see what happens here when she pulls back. So there's what she's got right there. One, you can see how they're overlapped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we move on up 6 inches and do it again. And we try to lay them on the best we can for the best repair that we can. So this is sort of a really fun game to try to become the best you can, welding up sheet metal. And it's welding up sheet metal. So we'll go in there and check that out. And she's welded them 4 on there. So she's got 4 there. That's good because how she got it on there, there's enough meat to grind off. When you go down there a little bit, that's nice. You get lots of meat to grind off. What you're trying to stay away from is pinholes, spotty welds, and that sort of stuff. It's always nice to lay them out as flat as you can, and for the less grinding as possible. Let's take it out. Take a look. She's ground up 4 there. She's connected the welds.
You might do another one there.
You can if you like. She wants to do another one there. And I know why she wants to do another one there, because she wants the meat there. And the meat there is for the grinding. So when she's all done, there's something I can grind there to make it look nice. That's what I'm talking about, is product. How many she got there, but
4.
okay. Then she moves up 6 inches and does 4 more. Try not pushing that pipe. I don't know how well I got that vice grip down. We don't need that on the ground. I'm just gonna come over. Okay, looking good. Looking good. She holding the welder with her thumb. With 2 hands, one hand holding it and the other hand holding on the metal, and her thumb holding the end of her welder. Good job. That's just to keep it more square. Let's look at that weld there for a second. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. We're just trying to get it, cover the spot where we're going together there. Basically it. Continue on 4 at a time, every 6 inches, just trying to stay with the heat. Spark just flew off and burnt my tire. Hard to believe, eh? Hard to believe. Jolene's gonna weld up the $1 million car. She is so. She's gonna weld up the $1 million car. The $1 million car. Holding the welder with her thumb, the other hand holding it there. She's doing a good job. Main thing is to get comfortable in this sort of stuff. What do you think, baby? Looking good? Making you happy? Some of the welds don't come tight together doing it 4s, but that's okay. That's what the grinder's for, you know? Like, I mean, what can I say? To me, not warping the metal up to make it look good, or like to grind it all off to make it look the best it can, to take the integrity out of it. Oops. That's not me. I would rather leave the weld showing to have the integrity. Some people like to grind it all off for the appeal. I'm against. I'd rather have the integrity than have. Look. What can I say? So you couldn't tell, I guess. If we had to grind that pipe off so you couldn't tell, all your integrity of your weld would be gone. See, I'm not that kind of guy. I'd like to leave the weld on so you can see it, and then fill it. So in other words, I take a person for who they are instead of what they look like. Does that make sense? But that's, yeah. Jolene's both those people. Hard to find to know. How's it feeling?
Warm.
Warm? You want to let off for a minute or two? Do you want to let off for a minute or two? You just want to let it cool down for a sec?
It doesn't matter. I don't think any.
Well, we can let it cool down for a minute. Let it cool down for a minute. I'll give you the camera. You can I spy your weld and talk about it if you like. Here. Talk about what you're doing. Talk about it. You don't want to talk about it?
I don't know.
Okay, well you do know. As we're going here, you can see how she's spotting it up and she's keeping the welds all apart. We're trying to keep them apart a little bit so it doesn't get too hot. That's not bad. You just welded that, that's pretty hot. It's not going anywheres, but that's going good. What's gonna have to happen, she'll go top to bottom, and then we'll grind it off like they did over there, and then we'll go from there. The other piece will get sandblasted and dealt with. But right now, I'm just gonna keep this in place, keep welding this, keep welding that until it's finished. We're gonna let it cool for a bit, because it might be too hot. There's no sense in warping it. We do not want to warp it. This thing here, what I'm gonna have to do is, when I bring this thing out, that was a good show too there, when they did the Rick's Restorations. That was fun to watch the stuff that they painted and bring on the show. That was fun. I don't know any more than that. It was fun to watch. So basically that's what I do all the time, you know, fix this sort of stuff. I've done a lot of this stuff for John, I've done a lot of stuff for me, and other people fix this sort of stuff, gas pumps. I generally like to do the stuff that interests me, and this stuff sort of does interest me. It does interest me, and that's why I went to the old cars. I can remember when I first started, I just wanted to do old cars, and sometimes it wasn't always there. And when you turn away all that other stuff, the newer stuff, it does not come back, if you know what I'm saying. So you really have to be careful when you jump into antique restoration. And I'll tell you the reason why. We are not necessary. Basically, that's it. When you get a new car and you need it fixed, you need it fixed. And generally, when you need it fixed, you do not need it restored. And that's what people, why did they fix this? Well, they weren't restoring it, they were fixing it. And yeah, we are not needed. I'm happy to be needed or have a job. I'm happy to have a job fixing the stuff that I'm interested in. But right now, this has to be gone over with I'm gonna do with a DA and Navy grit. That's what I'm gonna do that metal. I can't leave it metal like that because the primer will, paint will not adhere to it the way it should. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a DA, I get the 80 grit paper. Yeah, getting the table down was nice. Yeah, means something. Also, we'll push the 40 out, but it's drizzling out. I got nowhere to put it yet. I don't want it rusting. I'll get this back, get the irons on it. We've got a few things that we got to do. We got a whole bunch of stuff we got to do. Jim's having a dilemma with his car. We want to get it. Jim's having a dilemma with his car. I'm sure he'll explain it to us. So, I'm just gonna leave it on there right now, on that base. I'll have to take it off to paint it, no doubt, to get the black, the bottom painted black. But I have an 80 grit on the DA. And after the 80 grit, I know that that'll accept primer, or hold primer. That's basically what I'm saying. This is what I'm gonna do. Right here, we're gonna have to take this off. I think we're gonna have to make something to go in there instead, because it has this sprinkle on there. I'm just not sure. You know, when it pushes on, it's gonna tear the paint off. We'll see, I guess. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm not sure yet. I really don't know what I'm gonna do there yet. That has to come off. The metal looks really nice, you know? The metal looks really nice. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. It's very deceiving when you look at it like this. When I sand it like this, you think, oh, it's perfect. Doesn't need anything. Well, it's got a bend right there. It's got a bend all the way, like a bend all the way down there when it went over there and folded. It's got a bend right there. As I sand that, you would never know that by me just sanding that. You really have to feel things over after you do. You really have to touch something, feel something over to know if it is what you think it is. And that's what I mean, you can only believe half of what you see. When you look at that, you would think that it was well done perfectly, wasn't warped a bit, and had no bends in it. Well, that's not true. I can feel it. You know what I'm trying to say? Quick, run out and tell everybody I'm building $1 million car and I'm going to give it away. Quick, run out and tell everybody I'm going to build $1 million car and I'm going to give it away. We are going to give it away. We aren't we, baby? Quick, go tell everybody. And this is just like everything else, like them screws got to come out and all that, whatever. It's got to be sanded. It's got to be sanded for it to stick well. You know what I'm saying? Got to be sanded. It's funny, you know. It feels like the day I said I'm going to build Jolene a Bugatti. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. You crazy fool! You can't build no. Yes, I can. You just watch me. You watch me. Watch me. How's that? You just watch me. And I will prove it to you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna prove it to you. See what happens, right? See what happens. See what happens. It's nice to do that to yourself once in a while, to put the pressure on yourself, and I'll say the reason why. Is you actually do not know what you're capable of until you do that. And I do not mind putting the pressure on myself, especially if it's doing something that no one thinks I can do. Love it. $1932. Air and water was free. Air and water was free. I'll finish this off, and we'll go back to Jolene finishing off the welding. Don't want to hit them brass screws with the sandpaper. I'm staying away from them. Brass screws. Brass is very soft, very soft. Used to make rings out of brass nuts. You just shape it. You can shape the brass nut pretty simple to make a ring. Fun to do, I guess. I thought it was. All right. I'll speed up and Jolene back to work. Join effort, join effort. Join effort. Jolene said she'd love to help because she got the brakes for her car. And that's just the right thing to do, isn't it, baby? Mm-hmm. That's just the right thing to do. Yeah, I want to help too, she said. Brakes for my car. We're not going to build a $40 million car, we're going to build a $1 million car. Not going to cost you a damn thing other than subscribe, view, comment, whatever you can do for nothing. Yeah. We're gonna do that, baby. Yeah, I said that wrong. Not nothing. You have to do a bunch of stuff, but nothing out of your pocket. Nothing out of your pocket and your time. That's all. I might even comment and like and share. Alrighty, got that sanded. And I'm saying that that's, we're supposed to be in sand. A few shiny places. We don't want shiny places. We'll grind that off, clear that up, get some big scratches in that to take filler, because we're going to fill that along there. Yeah, we'll do that. Like, share, comment, whatever you think. You want me to take that and you do that again?
Yeah.
We'll get you on the welding. Like, share, comment, please, and ring the bell. I think, and as I talk about, I'm going to build this fantastic car. We're going to have to find out and figure out the way for us to, benefit us, to benefit you, to win the car. We don't know all the rules yet. Have no idea. But I do know it's going to have to come on like, shares, and comment, you know what I mean? It's going to have to come from that. And a click of a button, I would say. But tell everybody that we're going to build a car and give it away. We're going to say it's going to be $1 million. Hey! All right, we're going back to the thing we got to get. We got this hour does not have 42 minutes. This hour has 1 hour. So right now we're back to the. Good job. You touched it and see if it was hot. Not hot at all? Nope. You can start fours. Start from the bottom. Every 6 inches, and we'll fill that in. So right now, at the present moment, we've got the bottom of it sanded, and we've got this piece half welded. Joey's putting her protective gear on. I called it Little Miss Red Riding Hood this morning. Huh? So for me to say that we're going to build a $1 million car, I really have to look towards a $1 million car, do I not? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at something worth millions of dollars and try to build something that looks similar or take design features off it. But it definitely will be a Hiltz Auto Code car, that's for sure. And I'm hoping to build a nice enough car, well, obviously $1 million car that, it could be displayed anywheres. How's it going, Jolene? Good. Keep going. I don't want to stop you. Not even a little bit. Right behind you. Just watching you. I'm hiding behind the phone. That way there I'm not getting blind. It's good. Going good?
Yep.
Good. I'm in Jolene's world right now, trying to hold a camera. That's a world I'm not in much. Alrighty, I'm gonna, you know, my arms are gonna fall off. I'm gonna end this thing. Jolene's doing a fantastic job welding up the pipe going up the top of the air station. Please like, share, comment. I think she's doing a great job. And also, don't forget to tell your friends, your neighbors, your other car friends, Dad is gonna build $1 million car and give it away. And the reason I'm saying it's $1 million car is because I wouldn't sell it for $1 million. So how's that? So it must be worth $1 million, but I'll give it away. All right, everybody, like, share, comment. Cheers.